Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to Prodigy Brain Off Hour. I don't know. My brain's kind of like mush right now. But I felt like talking to you guys. And I'm probably going to stream Genshin later, too. So, there's that. But what's good, everyone? Coming to the live stream. What's good, Joel? What's good, Perla? How's it going? So, most of this stream, I'm just going to lean back and chat while reading your messages, and we're gonna talk about some topics. What topics? I don't even know. You guys can come up with the topics. I don't care. Like we're just, excuse me. Today is Vibe Day. We're just vibing. What's good, Robert? That's fine. What's good, Anika? What's good, Maya? What's good, Laita? I don't know if I said her name right. Maybe it's Laita. I apologize. What's great with me? Usually people ask what's good with you. You ask what's great with you. What's great? I can't think of anything that's great. I can't. Not with my mind. Not with my mental state at the moment. Honestly, I have a headache right now. Like I have a very annoying migraine at the moment. So I was going to lay down, but I was like, I should do something. It's like faithful with an L. So late. Alright, got it. Thank you. So I don't know. I have a migraine right now. I kinda wanted to lay down and watch anime, but it's a little early for that. But I also kinda wanna work on stuff too. And I also want to stream. So I ended up streaming. I also just got done doing a lot of cleaning, which I need to finish cleaning. I'll probably finish tomorrow or later tonight, but yeah. What do I think about Sora's dark form being one of the darknesses? I don't think that is unlikely. I've actually heard a lot of worser theories. So I think that theory is actually pretty alright. Can't do all three. What? Make a video, clean, and stream. Were those the three things? Was cleaning one of the three? I don't know. See, that's what my brain is right now. Got work in the morning. That's fine, Julian. Thank you for coming out, though. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by to say hi. I mean, like, I doubt Rage or Anti-Form's one of the other darknesses. But, I mean, I don't... If that did turn out to be the case, I don't think that's, like, a super bad thing, to be honest. Like, I actually think that's alright. Like, I can tolerate that a bit. No, let me adjust my setup a little bit. Alright, there we go. Can you guys still hear me fine? Hope you guys can. It's possible Sora's host of one of the darknesses. I definitely think one of the darknesses was Maleficent. For sure. Nah, I haven't watched the anime yet for The Worms with You. Hi, Majin, dude. Hello. What are you guys saying yes to? Wait, I asked a question? Bro, my brain is gone. Oh my gosh. I say everyone saying yes to. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying yes to. What you guys are saying yes to. What's something new I've been watching? I started this anime last night on Netflix called High Score Girl. I really like it so far. Oh, I asked if you guys could hear me. All right, that is what I asked. Yo, I'm sorry. My my brain is actually gone. Oh my goodness. Yo, how do we have intricate KH discussion with my current brain? Like I literally forgot so fast cuz I don't know, my brain just keeps thinking like I'm like reading chat, but I'm also like my brain just keeps screaming to me like headache, headache, headache. And I just feel like this throbbing pain in my head. It's not that bad though. Like it's not so bad to where I can't function. Well, I'm barely functioning, but it's not. I can do stuff. It's just a migraine. No, it's not a super bad one. I've had worse migraines. I've had migraines where I literally just, if I moved, I just felt like not existing. What do you think about what was said in the grid and dream drop distance? I feel like the statements could be recontextualizing given Union Cross and what we've learned about Quadratum. What statements in the grid? I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the grid and dream drop lately. I wonder why. Wonder where that's come from. Two is good, although it is kind of disappointing that they're skipping the supporting character subplots. I mean, it's an anime adaptation, so yeah, of a game no less. I think Quadrom's a counter to the Book of Prophecies, a world unforeseen, a world where the non-existent exist. What does that mean? What does a counter to the Book of Prophecies mean? Darkness is native to the real world. The one in Union Cross followed a dandelion and or the player. What's up, Prodigy? Yeah, what's good, Jacob? I was gonna show you guys something cool on stream today that my friend Cavern made, but I don't even have the I don't even think I have the energy for it. We'll see. We'll see where my energy's at in 30 minutes. Maybe I'll show it, but otherwise I'll show it tomorrow. I was gonna do a cage discussion stream today, like a big cage discussion debating about Disney World, and we could kind of still do that, but it won't be the Disney World debate stream. It'll just be a Disney debate stream. But yeah, my brain's gone. Zora's Trident reveal at the end of Union Cross. I doubt it, but I mean that'd be cool. Yeah, what's good, Brandon? Been waiting for these types of streams. What, just talking? I have a question. Let me get a quick poll in the chat. Do you guys enjoy I'm thinking, do you guys enjoy discussion streams more, or do you guys enjoy like gameplay streams more. Obviously, I'm gonna do both. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do anything. Just I feel like more, to be honest. But um, I'll just do anything occasionally. But just so I know, because I always felt like you guys definitely prefer discussion streams. But I do like my gameplay streams here and there. Great music choice. I don't even know what music I'm listening to. I just put on a laid back fighting game music playlist. That's what I put on. So I don't even know what song's playing, but it does sound nice. Like, I mean, I don't even count this as a, well, this is like a chill, this is essentially a just chatting stream on Twitch. That's basically what this is, without the other stuff that comes with just chatting. It's a very vague category, but I do have like my more official discussion streams. The ones you've seen me do collabs with other creators like Nitoki, like Michi on Twitter, Starlight Chi, with like Noir Cavern, like those sorts of streams. And what those are meant to be, they're meant to be almost like videos, but in the forms of live streams, and that's why I kind of want them to feel like. Hot Tub Stream 1. I don't know. Will breaking off from a more Disney thematic be good for Kingdom Hearts in the future? For me, no. I mean, I no one can really answer that question. Good, bad. I think it'll just be a thing, if anything, because you're always gonna have people that, if they're in the Disney World, if they feel like the Disney's like taking over a little bit more, they're gonna, some of those people are going to be like, all right, I want more Final Fantasy content. Get this Disney out of here. This isn't canon. This is garbage. I'm exaggerating a lot, but you're gonna have some people like that, people that don't care about the Disney, that want more Final Fantasy. On the Final Fantasy side of things, when we start seeing a lot more Quadratum, Verum Rex, well, people are going to be very interested as long as they tie it into the lore a decent bit. You're also going to have people that are like, dang, bro, where's the Disney Wars? Where's that charm? Where's that wholesomeness that Kingdom Hearts is known for? What's this super edgy version of Kingdom Hearts? Because there's like two different sides of people, because I noticed this dynamic a lot between the fan bases, and I get weird comments like this on some of my videos sometimes. I say weird because it's not what I play Kingdom Hearts for, neither is it something Kingdom Hearts has ever really done too much, but like I've gotten comments saying like people want like gore, or people want like Kingdom Hearts to have like all these super dark themes and storytelling and stuff. I'm fine with dark storytelling. What some people define as dark storytelling can be a little subjective at times, but I'm fine with darker storytelling, I'll say that. When we see you get bodied in Undernight, me bodied in Undernight? You're gonna have to find like a pro player or something to do that. Ain't no casual dude just scrolling about bodying me in Undernight. But let me stop being cocky. But like, I'm fine with darker storytelling, but I definitely for me, my limit is I don't want to see gore in Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm not trying to see like Sora be stabbed, and I'm not trying to see Sora bleeding and like pleading for his life. That's really descriptive. But I'm not trying to see none of that. I'm not trying to see none of that in this game, because I don't care for that stuff. Like, I mean, they could do it theoretically, but do I care to see it? Does it make that scene better? No. I mean, not for me, because that's not what I really care about in Kingdom Hearts. It's like, when I'm watching Disney movies, I don't care if I see gore. I'm not even looking for it. For me, I think it comes from a common archetype of what people deem as mature storytelling. What's seen as a lot more mature storytelling is storytelling that tends to be a lot more darker, quote, realistic, or just something that is like very like adult-esque, you know. But I feel like I feel like you can make a story and express those same type of scenes. You can bring out that emotion that you would get from those sorts of media while still being wholesome, lighthearted. I think you can. I've watched plenty of pieces of media that have done it before. I would consider Carol and Tuesday one of those pieces of media. Like, you're not sitting there like, that's a generally extremely wholesome show, and I think it does a very great job at expressing character dynamics, representation, and does a very good job just showing kind of how life is in a very mature fashion, while also having people who want to achieve their dreams and stuff. It's very nice, but it still handles some of those like more mature themes very well, quote, maturely. I actually think it's the opposite when people define maturity by like, or mature storytelling by how dark it gets, who dies, etc. It's a little weird. I definitely think Kingdom Hearts has dark parts. Like, there definitely is some really weird stuff in Cage, but like, overall, generally speaking, I don't think, like, the type of dark I see people comment about, like people who think Kingdom Hearts needs to get darker or needs to be more like mature, as I was saying, like, they want like these bloody scenes, they want like characters to die. Like, I don't care about any of that. All right, that's a very interesting discussion you bring up, Rex Chissy Rex. I hope I'm saying your name right. Um, I want more Disney investment to the story. Just as in Cage One, the best part was villains being a threat. The Princesses of Heart act real reason to visit those worlds. Let me ask you this question: what did any of those villains do? Like, tell me what Captain Hook did later in the Kingdom Hearts story after Kingdom Hearts 1. Or tell me what Oogie Boogie did. Or tell me what, like, any character that wasn't Maleficent did after Cage 1, story-wise. Because, like, yeah, while they were kind of semi-involved with the Keyblade stuff, it was more so acknowledgement. Like, the Keyblade was used as a catalyst to plunge their worlds into darkness so they could get control of it. It's like a abridged version of what the original spin on what the regular Disney movies did. But I see that point a lot, and I understand it, because I do understand that when you're playing Kingdom Hearts 1, there's this weight, there's this atmosphere that makes everything you're doing, every step you're taking, feel like you're progressing the plot, and not, they haven't mastered that illusion like they have with Cage 1, I'd say, in a lot of other Cage games. But what I mean, I use the word illusion purposely, because that's kind of how I see it, kind of. Like, I feel like in Cage 1 does a really good job of making you think what you're doing really matters in the Disney worlds, which it partially does, but when you look at Kingdom Hearts 1, then look at everything else Disney World wise, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 definitely has some things that happen in Disney worlds that straight up just don't matter. Like, I'd say, like, I'm trying to think, what do I take away from the Agrabah world in KH1? The main thing I can take away is we know Jasmine is the Princess of Heart. Sora does get some nice character development from Aladdin, which is what almost every Disney World does, some more than others. Like, a lot of the Disney Worlds can be summed up with, oh, I found another Princess of Heart, or character building. But the character building thing is something I actually feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 does the best, which is one of the reasons I love KH3's Disney Worlds. I genuinely think KH3's Disney Worlds develop Sora's character almost the best out of, like, any Disney Worlds in the series. Because because it's a different perspective, right? Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, they developed Sora because Sora was literally new to all of this. So, like, it's kind of harder for Sora to not develop while going through those worlds than it is for him to go through. Like, then for him to not, it's harder for him to not develop going through those worlds than it is for him like to, because it's the first game, if that makes sense. What's my number one fighting game OST? Definitely Under Night and Birth, 100% Under Night and Birth. Afterwards would be, I gotta think. Second would be Guilty Gear's pretty good. But I don't know if it's number two. I think KOF has a really good OST. Like, KOF games have some banger sound. No, Skullgirls. Skullgirls is number two, because I like jazz a lot in fighting games. So Skullgirls, and then Capcom SNK, those sorts of games would be my go-tos for fighting game OSTs. But anyways, like with KH1, like, I mean, that's kind of like a dumb point to make. Like, it's harder for him not to develop. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but like what I mean in general is that in KH1, like, it feels like every step you're taking matters more than like a lot of other games, because the formula wasn't established. This is the first game where this Disney and Final Fantasy thing even comes together. It's the first game where it ever happens. So a lot of us played that game, and that experience stuck with us. And for a lot of people, it's the same case with KH2. A lot of people had KH2 as their first game. That experience stuck with them when they played through KH2. Because, like, it's the beginning of your adventure. It's the beginning of your adventure compared to, like, where we are in KH3. Sora's been through countless Disney worlds. He's done this before. But, so people are going, rather than going through Disney worlds with the perspective of, oh, wow, Sora's never done this before. It's like, okay, well, Sora's done the Disney World thing before, so, like, it doesn't have that, like, weight, that, like, super fresh new feeling that KH1 has, even if we've watched the movies before. Like, but in KH3, the reason I feel like the reason they're more interesting for me, in a general sense, is because of what I said. We have a more mature Sora in this game. I've realized some people don't fully agree with that. I feel like Sora in KH3 is like the most mature Sora, the most emotionally aware Sora. He's been through the hurt, he's been through the tragedies that he's had to go through throughout the other games. He understands that it's all on him, kind of, like, even though he has help from Mickey and Riku, even though he knows Kairi and Lee are training, and he has Don and Goofy there. He knows, and you see this at the end of the game on his face. You see this at the end of the game. Riku is saving him, or is walking forward, trying to stop, like, the demon tornado thing. Sora knows that a lot of this is on him. A lot of stuff is on his plate. So it's weird to me when people act like KH3's Disney worlds have absolutely nothing to offer, when throughout all of these worlds, Sora is constantly expressing moments where he's showcasing his internal struggle, where he's showcasing his acknowledgement for, like, Ventus and Roxas and the people who are, like, inside of his heart. That's what all the Disney worlds were really about at the end of the day. The 3 people inside of Sora's heart. Yensid sent him out to discover the power, to help him find the power of waking and stuff. But that wasn't the main or only thing. It wasn't just that. I know it's a big thing a lot of people like to focus on, but it wasn't just that. It was also about the 3 people who were in his heart and how to save them, because they might be able to help us, and they also deserve to live their own lives. People like Roxas, people like Xion, Kairi with Naminé, like, that's what the end of Dream Drop Distance was all about. That's what it all was about. Like, the one part in Dream Drop where Sora's character isn't, like, kind of dumb, acting really stupid, which I'm not gonna lie, is definitely one of the worser Sora games, but I'm gonna replay it soon, and I'll have a new opinion on that. But the ending of Dream Drop Distance is what kind of sets up Sora's character in KH3, when he does, like, basically get captured. When he gets captured by the organization, when he has that cutscene where he's just going through all of his memories and all of his experiences, and you see that one cutscene. Let me grab a picture here, actually. Like, how easy is it to find this picture? Okay, like this picture right here, like this moment, like when you see scenes like this is Sora acknowledging like the burden he kind of has on him, and the scene where he's sitting there and he's like, all right, alone, I'm worthless. That's literally how Sora feels. It isn't something he just said just to say. That's literally how he feels, and he showcases that constantly. Yeah, exactly, Novice. Exactly. I agree. Like, I can, okay, I think what would make, like, a little bit more sense to me is if people, it is a little bit of the wording, which is why some of the debates happen, because I think people oversimplify some of their opinions sometimes, and instead of just saying, oh, I don't care about this sort of stuff, I don't care about this character development, I don't, it doesn't matter to me, I don't care about, the three hearts inside Sora. I just want to see the organization. I want to see a fight, or maybe they don't see that stuff as important in the series. That stuff doesn't matter to them. That expressing that would make like a lot more sense than, oh, nothing happened in the Disney World. It's just this didn't matter. They're literally filler. They're not filler. Like they add a lot to the story. They do a lot for Sora's character. They should put other characters in Disney World. I agree with that, but I definitely think it adds a lot of weight to the story at the end, 100%. But let me read some comments. I just rambled forever, but let me read some comments. Sora starts KH3 unconfident, teased and clueless, and at the end he has the resolve to end his own existence to save Kyra and everyone else. That's, yeah, Sora's character is literally completely different at the end of KH3. I won't say completely, but like, he showcases like, he showcases a level of resolve we only really see from characters like Riku. Riku shows like the most resolve in the series, because that's literally what his character arc is, resolve. Like, that's what Dream Drop Distance was, accepting his darkness, embracing it, knowing that it's a part of him, knowing that darkness can't exist without light, light can't exist without darkness, but he chooses to fight for the light anyways, or fight, probably not even just for the light, but for his friends. What else are they going to do in Kingdom Hearts 3? All that he knows is that he's going through the worlds has made him stronger and got him to his goal. He doesn't know what else to do. All of KH3 Worlds foreshadow. Oh yeah, I read that already. I just went back. Sora's character felt underwhelming in 3. I hope it continues in spin-offs. That's... I disagree with that heavily, and I can also tell why I probably disagree with that, because you view the other titles as spin-offs, because they're not spin-offs. They're definitely not spin-offs. That might help Sora's character a bit for you in KH3, not viewing the other titles as spin-offs. I hope the next game all the characters are a bit more mature. I want to see Kairi come out as a beast trained by Aqua with resolve to never be saved again. Riku already is mature. I mean, were they not mature in KH3? I felt like most of the KH characters were pretty mature in KH3. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like they were, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know how you define maturity, but I feel like in relatively to like their previous selves, they're a lot more mature, like esque. Way back in the day, I remember seeing a theory that Terra gave Braig/Zigbar brain damage, which is why he sees hallucinations like Xion being Ven and this scene in Journey of Distance. That's kind of a crazy. That's kind of crazy. What the heck? Being unreality. will likely mess with Sora's connections to his friends and others, if not mess with his memories outright. Yeah, exactly. That's what's very interesting about Quadratum. That's one thing that's extremely interesting about Quadratum. Well, I'm excited for it because Sora's by himself, and like he isn't often in a situation where he's by himself, so it creates for a very interesting dynamic between him and Yozora, him and Riku potentially in this world, being on opposite sides, I guess. And I don't know, just what is he gonna do? How is he gonna get out of here? I must ask, how do you guys feel about the voice acting for Kingdom Hearts? And do you think the next game will take a more serious, less mysterious tone like Union Cross? Probably. I mean, Union Cross is definitely serious, but like, I think it's mostly because we're reading Union Cross. I don't know how to describe it. Like, Union Cross is definitely a little bit of a more darker and convoluted story compared to other titles, but like it's still Kingdom Hearts. It still feels like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Akira, but yeah, my issue with KH3 Worlds are how convenient they are. He just goes to them and then stumbles on things. He's ignoring the power of waking in each world, but has him when needed most. Yeah, I didn't mind. I can understand people's problems with the power of waking thing, like him just kind of like the scene with Ventus where he's just like, "Oh, you had it all along, Sora." I kind of expected that to happen, like from the beginning. It didn't really bother me. I guess that's me being overly complacent with like storytelling like that, because I'm very used to that from animes I've watched growing up and Disney movies. So like, I didn't really see that as a negative. Neither would I say I loved it as it's some amazing moment for the series. More so like, it's just a thing, I guess. Like, as soon as I saw Sora even in front of Ventus, I'm like, okay, he's gonna wake him up. There's no way he's not going to wake him up here, because it just makes sense for it to happen here. But I guess they could have like alluded to it a little bit more, like a little progression towards getting the power of waking. But I mean, that's kind of what happened with Riku. I mean, like, I don't like in Dream Drop they didn't really explain how Riku got the power of waking. He saved the sleeping worlds. He awoke a bunch of sleeping worlds and got the power, but like he didn't. Him actually using it was when he like saved Sora, I guess, at the end, which I guess was kind of like convenient too. But I don't know. I guess Sora could have went back and woken up a bunch of sleeping worlds in KH3, and that would have made more sense. Like after every world, he went to like a sleeping world or something. Or, I don't know how they would have done it. They could have done it better though. I'd agree. But like, for me, what really sells the Disney Worlds is just the interactions Sora has with the Disney characters and the awareness he just has about his situation really sells it for me. Because a big thing, a lot of people, I think this might be a little bit of Square's fault with how they paced the Kingdom Hearts story, which I don't mind, but I know from what it seems like it definitely affected a lot of people when KH3 came out. Like, people probably were not as interested in the three hearts inside Sora plot line, not as many people at least, because for people who, for hardcore fans who played the series all the way up to 3, every game, analyzed the lore, you knew who the three hearts were. Maybe Xion was a little debatable for some people, but you knew Ventus and Roxas were both inside Sora. And a lot of people who played Dream Drop knew about Xion. Like, that's what all the Disney Worlds progressed that plot point. Like, all the Disney Worlds progressed that plot point. Like, that what do you think that Vanitas scene in Monstropolis was? The point of that scene was so that Sora would know Ventus is like inside his heart. Because otherwise, if Sora just randomly meets up with Ventus in BBS, and Ventus is then like, "Oh, you got the power of waking. My heart's inside you," and all of that happens in one moment, it doesn't it doesn't hit as much, you know. But the fact that Vanitas even tells them, and Don and Goofy have this scene where they're like, "Yo, I remember Ventus's heart never returned to him," and they like kind of look back at all the events and look at what Vanitas is saying. They're like, "Oh yeah," and it's like a big moment, like, whoa, Ventus is a part of me. But Sora's been looking at Roxas all the way up until that point. Sora assumed, because at first it was just Sora shares a heart with someone else. Then it was Sora shares his heart with 3 people. Sora was at first like, okay, so Roxas is we gotta save Roxas, and that's exactly what they assumed. We all knew playing the series that it was Ventus growing up, but like Sora didn't know that. Like, all the Disney worlds, the way they progressed the plot was all the Disney worlds were, I guess you could say they took a long time doing this, but all the Disney worlds, what they did was they, for one, progressed Sora's character leading up to the ending, leading up to what would happen, and leading up to what he would do in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. That's one. 2, what it did was it progressed the plot of the 3 hearts inside Sora, which led to Roxas returning, which led to Ventus returning, and they constantly talked about that in every single world they were in, or they were going to, or at least nearly. The only world I'm like thinking of, or like I don't know if it was mentioned. I don't know if it was mentioned in Tangled, or I forget if it was mentioned in Tangled, and Arendelle. Was it mentioned in Arendelle? It might have been, but I don't know fully. I don't fully remember. But I know every other Disney World has it. Even San Fran has it. Like that scene where like Sora's on top of like the bridge and he's just eating ice cream with them, or he's just chilling with them, and he sees himself as Roxas in that scene. And he like he has like a little moment where Roxas inside his heart. Like it, I don't know. Like, okay, honestly, just tell me straight up, guys. Like, do those scenes like not hit at all for you guys? Like, because maybe I'm just viewing Kingdom Hearts completely different, which I know other people do like view it. Think like kind of have like a more emotional experience like that with the series as well. But sometimes when I have those convos, I truly do think sometimes, like, based off of people's reactions, when people say, like, none of the Disney Worlds in 3 mattered. Like, none of them mattered. I'm just thinking to myself, like, so this scene and this scene and this scene didn't hit for you at all? I'm sitting here like, bro, every Disney World, when I was going through it, I was just in love. I was like, yo, this story's great. Like, okay, my first interpretation when playing the game, I was like, wow, the pacing's really good. I literally said that to myself. I was like, whoa, the pacing in KH3 is actually really amazing. And I remember seeing Keyblade Sarah tweet the same thing too. And I was like, yo, right? This pacing's great. And then everyone else started finishing the game. And then I saw a bunch of comments rolling in, a bunch of opinions, and a bunch of debates. And I was like, wait, people think the pacing was bad? I'm like, yeah, Keyblade Graveyard was long. A lot happened in Keyblade Graveyard, but if you watch, like, any story or any story as climactic as this one, a lot of lore happens in the end of, like, of these types of, like, stories. Like, especially ones with, like, deep lore and intricacies, like Kingdom Hearts. Like, Kingdom Hearts isn't some battle shonen where like the ending is going to have no lore. It's just going to be one big like slugfest. No one's talking, no one's doing anything. Just one big slugfest for 2 hours. No, Kingdom Hearts is like final world is going to have like so many revelations and plot developments, because that's when it would happen at. Like, shoot, Kingdom Hearts is going to be summoned here. We're going to see the Keyblade here for the first time canonically in 10 years. We're going to, like, Sora and them have never even witnessed this Kingdom Hearts or this Keyblade. So, like, lore is going to happen. Questions are going to be asked. Things are going to need to be explained. Because a lot of the characters that were, like, there, a lot of the characters throughout the game that needed to be saved, like, the characters that had the info on Xehanort for the final battle weren't even there until the end. Like, so Aqua, Ventus would not have been able to really give much info on what happened during the final battle. Mickey probably would have, so I don't know why Mickey didn't do nothing. Those things don't have much to do with the Disney Worlds, though. They're just the settings. They don't progress the plot. Whatever organization their team member shows up and says something cryptic is what progresses it. Okay, so I heavily disagree with that. Like, so do you like only associate progression with villains showing up? Because that's what that sounded like to me. I feel like that definitely has a lot to do with the world, because a lot of those interactions directly happen off of like some of the Disney characters. Like, you're telling me scenes. Hold on, we're just gonna play this cutscene right here. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna play this cutscene. I gotta get it off of YouTube, but whatever.
Look at all the pretty colors. There's blue and green. Ooh, I love
Apologies. I just had to set up my thing a little bit more. Alright. So we're going to skip through this a little bit because part of it's Olaf stuff. But this scene right here, right? This short part of this cutscene.
When we were little, my sister and I used to be really close.
This sort of asking about Elsa and stuff.
I have to bring her home.
Yeah, they skipped the "Do you want to build a snowman" part. That's
sure
what that
she
cut
knows
was.
how much you love her. And I think maybe.
Like, hold on. Literally, look at the look on Sora's face here. He's sitting here, like, actually hurt that, like, Anna and Elsa. Even though this world, I don't even like Frozen's story like that. But this world has this one cutscene in this world. Even this world has, like, at least one cutscene. All the other worlds have plenty more like this, where Sora's just relating, being emotionally aware, like you've never seen him do before with other Disney characters. In other Disney worlds, it's just like, oh, yo, what's good, Beast? How's it going, man? Yo, what's good, Aladdin? How's it going, bro? And Sora doesn't really have any sort of emotional reaction or relatability to the other Disney characters, or he does to an extent, but not like this, I guess. He doesn't sit down and literally like ponder, like, all right.
And I think maybe that's why she looks so sad.
She's probably feeling like how
Just
I
like when
felt.
Riku disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he had to push me away to protect me.
It's literally what Elsa's doing.
Elsa's the same.
Like, literally that one thing. Like, okay,
If
so
anyone can help her, it's you.
Huh? Thanks.
Hey guys, I need some help.
and then it's the Olaf thing. But okay, like little scenes like that, for example, for me, from my perspective, let me tell you guys like how I feel when I look at that. When I look at stuff like that, and this was my reaction when I first played through the game. I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, Sora, I love you, but for other people, it's nothing for them. Like, it's literally nothing. Like, for scenes like this, like someone said earlier that this, Ganon said earlier, like that this doesn't have much to do with the Disney World. This is literally an interaction. This is literally only even an interaction because of Anna here. Like, this is directly to do with the Disney World. Is that the same as plot progression? This is... okay, hold on. For me, the characters are a big part of the plot. So, whenever Sora has a scene like this, whenever he has a scene in the ending of this world where he's like... Hold on. Whenever Sora has a scene at the end of like this world, dang, this has 44 million views on YouTube. What the heck? But that's a lot of people like this CGI. No, I did not mean to do that. Nice ad though. But like when Sora has a scene right here, and like he's like looking at all of this.
You're right.
It'll be okay. They're strong.
You're right. They have each other.
Anna. Oh, Elsa. You sacrificed yourself for me.
Like
I love you.
when you have a scene like this, that he directly, I don't know what was that cutscene called? Sora, let's type Sora saved by Kairi. Let's do that. Will that give me the scene I want? Yeah. All right. But like, and then he directly references that moment. Hold on.
You're the one who kept me from fading away.
All I did was believe that you wouldn't.
Directly references that scene in this cutscene.
Kairi.
How is that a little thing to some people? How does that mean nothing? How does that not affect the plot?
Are ahead.
How does that not change Sora's perspective? How does that not adjust his perspective? Like, look at Sora's like face here. Hold on. Like again, we're gonna look back at. Like, look at this expression here. Just something as small as this, where he's just thinking to himself, like, "Wow, everything I just been through is kind of like how I feel about Kairi, or how, like, what she is to me, like, sort of thing, or what I am to her. Acts of true love. All these worlds have a theme. Like, it's weird for me this doesn't matter to people. It's weird for me when people say that's nothing. And I know you probably hear this scene referenced a lot, but the reason it is because it's beautiful that something like that even happens. Like, you don't even get moments like this in the other KH games. This is something mostly KH3 does. And I love it. Like, KH3 is probably one of the most, like, emotionally driven Kingdom Hearts games, like, period. All the other games have, like, different sort of, like, ways to express this, but KH3 really took advantage of its engine, really took advantage of the modernized, like, graphic style they made for it, and used it to, like, do all these cool little facial expressions to showcase this emotion, to make all these wonderful scenes. And it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, like, to me. Like, it matters a lot. And a thing I did see a lot of comments about, or discussions about, is people saying that, talking about, like, the plot, but, like, I guess it's kind of hitting a wall with me, and the reason is because there's a clear disconnect between what we consider a plot. For me, the characters developing is a big part of the plot. Like, just think about it. Everything Riku did in Kingdom Hearts 1, the start of his character arc, directly influenced, like, the rest of the Kingdom Hearts series. So Riku's character development, he had his own internal character development as well, but a lot of his external growth, a lot of his external, like, moments and events and tragedies, all directly affected the plot of Kingdom Hearts. So for me, in my head, when I see these scenes with Sora, I think about these scenes, or I'm subconsciously thinking about these scenes that happen with Riku, because I know that, like, this matters in the plot. This matters in the grand scheme of things. This is going to, like, this is going to, like, have an effect on the story later. These Kingdom Hearts, I say this often in videos when I'm talking about the story for KH. Like, if you guys ever watched a super big lore video or theory from me, like, for example, look at my Sora is the Master of Masters video. I don't think Sora's the Master, but I talked about the Sora is the Master theory, and to sell that theory even more and put people in the perspective of that, which will be a big story moment, a big plot moment, right? I had to talk about Sora's character. I had to tell you about what Sora's personality is like, what his character is like, what are his morals, where does he stand in the story, where are his internal feelings. Like, the reason Sora's feelings and development matter is because of literally what the series is about. The entire series is about emotions. The entire series is about strength of heart. The entire series is about, like, connecting with people. Like, you even see that in Cage 1. That's not even exclusive to Cage 1. You see that even in Cage 1. The whole series is about connecting with people. Like, lines like "my friends are my power" is a moment for Sora that also develops his character, that also, like, is a big moment for him. Like, you could say it's kind of the start of his arc too, the true start of his arc that we would later see down the line. That one quote he made in Cage 1 after Riku betrayed him, like, the characters are directly tied into the plot. The characters and their feelings are directly tied, not just Sora having the Keyblade. Like, what's important about Sora isn't just that he has a Keyblade, and they proved this in the first game when Sora's Keyblade was taken. And when Sora's Keyblade was taken, we didn't go to a different scene where we didn't go to a different, like, scene or go to a different playable segment with Riku and Dawn and Goofy or nothing when they were walking around with him. No, we were Sora with a wooden stick. And Sora, when he saw Beast walking forward, a Disney character walking forward, Sora sat there and was like, you know what? If he can keep on fighting, I can too. And Sora, with the wooden sword, again, we're walking around Hollow Bastion and doing puzzles. We're still able to do magic, so we're able to rough up the hearts a little bit. Beast mostly carrying us, one-shotting things. But, like, we go all the way through this place we've never been to before to find Riku. And then, after his big speech, Dawn and Goofy still help Sora, even after all of that, without a Keyblade. Like, the thing about Sora that's cool isn't that he's a Keyblade wielder. The thing about Sora that's so special is his connections to people, is his, like, I don't even know if him, like, the way, just the good nature of his character. What's important about Riku isn't that he has a Keyblade. Riku didn't even have a Keyblade in KH1. Riku was possessed by Ansem and served as a catalyst for Ansem's Heartless, for Riku Replica, for Darkness in general in KH1, and for the organization even. Like, Riku was involved in all of that without a Keyblade. That was all because of just his character. So I don't know. Like, that's my third tangent. I'll read some comments. But what do you guys think about that? Like, do you, like, can you see why, from my perspective, it's really bizarre to see people say, like, worlds don't matter, or that, I don't know. Just, it's bizarre to me. But, let me read, because I was responding. It did spark off of game. And by the way, no ill will towards anyone. Like, if I read your comment and go on a 30-minute rant, don't take it as me attacking you or anything. We're just vibing. Like, I have zero ill will towards anybody. All of this is just discussion. I just like talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I especially, I like these conversations, believe it or not. I like the conversations about Disney. I like the conversations about the gameplay, debating about, like, what's, what we like, what we dislike. It's fun to get, like, different perspectives on things. Of course, there's a lot of perspectives I disagree with and think are a little, like, weird, bizarre, and I mean, you could get that feeling without me even saying without me even talking in general, without me even having to say it. But just know, just in case, because I know people take things a different way. The discussion is the main part. It's not about a specific person in the discussion. The discussion is what's the fun part for me. I just like talking about Cage. You guys have been around long enough, some of you, to know I just like talking. But the plot progression was more like, is getting Rapunzel to the Light Festival or whatever going to get Aqua out of the Realm of Darkness? No, but in terms of character growth, I get what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're looking at it from, but I think that's a bad way to look at it, because it's like you're going through the Disney World with the stigma of, okay, if Aqua's not out the realm of darkness, none of this matters. I mean, so they have to build up to it, and there's other stuff that's going on as well, like the three hearts within Sora's own personal character, his struggles and so on. Like you can't put the reason the character development is part of the main plot is so that those important moments that like we're looking forward to, because of course I think the same thing. Like I'm like, while I'm going through Disney World, I do want to save Aqua in the Realm of Darkness. I'm wondering what's going on there, but I'm also having fun in this Disney World. I know it's gonna happen. Like I know it's most likely going to happen at some point in the game. So like I'm not stressed over. I'm like sitting here having fun. I get my nice little story cutscenes, my character development progressing, the plot progressing, finding out more about Roxas. Like I got excited every single time I saw Roxas mentioned in KH3, and it made his return in the game so good, so good. Like that's why it's one of the best cutscenes, because of the way they built up to it, the way they talked about it. Like it feels like a lot of KH3 was building up to just all those moments in Keyblade Graveyard, Terra returning, Shion, Roxas returning, actual reuniting with those characters. Like, but that's all character development for them too. Like those moments where they're talking about those scenes that are eventually going to happen. Like Kingdom Hearts is a lot more than just its big moments. That's something I've said on Twitter, or that's something I've said in, I think I might have said in a video before, but that's a recent thing I've been thinking about. Like I feel like there's this, it's weird. Like I definitely feel like there's this weird vibe in the community. Like I love it, don't get me wrong, because, for example, when I'm doing my Union Cross live streams, and we're sitting here, we're analyzing this lore, you guys are telling me all your theories and all this stuff you think, we're just analyzing, we're going ham with the theory crafting, the discussions, they get very intricate, and we start thinking about all these other scenes that are happening in the series. It's like, we have all these moments where, like, we're talking about all this lore, all these like big events, or we try to analyze things, right? We try to analyze things to figure out what's going to happen in the future, but the things we don't talk about nearly as much are the characters, or like the same people who do sit there and like analyze these scenes like frame by frame, pixel by pixel, to try and find out what the next twist is going to be. Those same people don't show the same energy towards like characters, or like the more emotional reactions. Like, okay, I'm not the only person who came up with this theory, but I was partially like, I was definitely one of the fewer people who made a video on it for sure. But I know I'm not the only one who came up with this theory, because it's like, it's rare to be the only person in the community to come up with the theory. But this was a theory I did think about at the time, about the missing star. And the sole reason, like, you guys can go back to my video, like, my theory was, well, it's not 100% true, but like 80%. Like, my theory was that the girl we talked to in the final world, and I made this theory before Remind came out, which I ended up being mostly right about, was related to Verum Rex. Everyone else was saying Strelitzia, everyone else was saying Ava, or just whoever, right? I was like, this girl's probably related to Verum Rex, and I had a decent reason for thinking so. On top of like little minor clues in the Verum Rex trailer, like her having a star like necklace, for example. What made me think this girl was from Quadratum, from Verum Rex, was Sora's reaction. That's literally what made me think this. And I use this as an example because I don't think people pay attention to character face. Like, Nomura definitely sits there and he's like, all right, give him a surprise face, give him a give him a sad expression, give him like a confused but shocked. Like, they're definitely sitting there paying attention to those expressions and like putting them in there so you guys know how these characters feel without like having to commission or pay voice actors to do a bunch of extra lines. And it's a good thing to do, especially with this graphic style. Like, people don't pay attention to stuff like that. People don't. Like, I don't know why. Like, people don't pay attention to the more emotional part of the series, as weird as it sounds. Or I shouldn't generalize it and say people. I shouldn't generalize it and say like everyone or anything. But it definitely feels like it's less common for someone to reference how a character reacted to something compared to someone mentioning the event itself. If you get what I mean. Like, people often, when they reference this scene, they reference Sora talking to the Nameless Star, and they try to analyze what she said, which you do gotta do. That's fine. That's all in good fun. But people won't sit there and analyze his reaction. His reaction, when you think about it, when you sit there and think about who would Sora be surprised, what would give Sora a confused expression, what would give Sora this sort of reaction, saying huh, then looking at her, then her saying like our secret, he's still just like, whoa, like you see he's looking around like, what, you good, bro? He probably just thinks she's crazy or something. He's like, someone pranking me? Like, no one's looking at it like that. No one's looking at it like that all the time. I have some friends who do. I've talked to the people who have, but like it's not as general to view scenes like that in the Cage Queen. Like, most people are going to sit here and analyze every single word she said when the words she's saying are super purposely vague, and they are important, but like,
Thank you. I'll tell.
his reaction gives you more info than anything you could get off of her words. So that's how I feel about that. I don't know. Do you guys get what I mean, though? At all? I love KH3. But people who don't seem to understand that this is not the last game. And just like KH1 has its ups and downs, and after that, KH2 came along and everyone was like, that's perfect. People didn't think KH2 was perfect at first. KH2 didn't become like the best KH game till like 2.5 came out, when a lot of people got to experience Final Mix, and when a lot more Kingdom Hearts channels started coming to the scene. Which, unfortunately, but it's not like it's their fault or anything, like, content creators, not even just KH content, like, content creators in general definitely shape opinions in communities. Like, because I know a lot of us, me included, we watch certain YouTubers as a kid. We heard one of our favorite YouTubers be like, yo, when we were like 11, 12, a lot of us were hearing our favorite YouTubers, and they were like, yo, KH2, that's the game right there, man. That's the best game. KH1, 2, that game's goated. Yo, Chain of Memories, ew, that game sucks. Yo, Soccer Team, they suck too. And being young, impressionable kids, you go with that. You're just like, I disagree, but if he says so, and I look up to him, then maybe he's right. So, yeah. That's not like a super terrible thing or anything, but I definitely try to, that's a big reason I try to promote discussion, because I feel like when everyone's able to air their opinions out and people have a platform to air their opinions out, air out their disagreements, which is what I like about the modern KH community. A lot of people I may talk to from back in the day will tell me, the community's so bad now, I hate it here, like it's so toxic and drama filled, everyone's always debating. I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, after KH3 was definitely toxic, for sure. There's some toxic moments now too, but I will take minor to average, mediocre toxicity with more open discussion compared to pre-Cage 3 days, where if you even disagreed slightly, like, and I'm not even talking about, like, because it started building up when more and more trailers came out, because a lot more people started coming out the woodworks, and a lot more people who hadn't been around for a while, because not a lot of people started following Kingdom Hearts 3 in the height of its build up. People knew about, but a lot of people, Cage on YouTube blew up a lot more, I'd say around 2017, 18, which is when Cage 3 promotion started ramping up a lot, and it's been like that ever since. So a lot more people started coming around, sharing their opinions. A lot of different content creators who aren't used to the norms or used to, like, the standards of opinions in the Cage community started coming out and being like, hey, Cage 2, I like that game, but, like, Cage 1's better, bro. Or, I like Birth by Sleep. Or, hey, Dream Drop Distance, that game's kind of fire. I don't know what y'all talking about. And then other people are like, yeah, I felt this way for like 3 years, bro, but no one said nothing. So now that a bigger content creator said what they've been wanting to say for 3 years, or they've been holding back, they're like, yeah, bro, yo, you know what? Hey, you remember when I told you Cage 2 is my favorite game? Nah, bro. It's Dream Drop Distance. And then the whole community just went crazy. They're like, whoa, what did you just say? I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of just memeing up what happened, which that's definitely what, like, happened. At least, like, I might be like 10% exaggerating, but 90% of that is what happened. But, like, it's the norm. Some people do try to stick to, like, standards and norms, and people have their own opinions, right? Like, you're allowed to have your own opinions. That's perfectly fine. It's weird you even have to say that as a creator, like, because some people can think otherwise. But it's okay to like different Cage games, and it's okay to like different things about different Cage games. It's the moral of the story. Because honestly, pre-Cage 3 days, it was fun. Like, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was super fun. But you definitely were not having super open discussions. Like, you could maybe get away with, like, being in your isolated friend groups and being like, all right, Birth by Sleep, that gas. But if you were, like, super public with it, I'm not going to sit here and say people scolded you or people, like, would send hate your way. It wasn't like that. Like, you weren't, like, they weren't that toxic. This isn't the COD community or, like, whatever else. Let me not throw other communities under the bus or anything, but it's not, we're not that toxic. Like, I'm happy that Kingdom Hearts toxicity in most cases stays to just a discussion, it's limited to disagreeing with your opinion. Maybe they'll slander you a little bit, but it's mostly limited to, I disagree, your opinion sucks. Like, that's way better than, like, the doxing or the death threats that, like, other communities are plagued with when people disagree. But what would happen for sure is you would be known as the guy that likes Birth by Sleep. Like, it would be like a meme, like an event. Like, oh man, you love Birth by Sleep, or oh, you like Osaka games? Ew, that's gross. These games are obviously objectively better, and you're wrong. And that's whack. Nowadays, I don't raise an eyebrow as much when I see someone who says Recode is their favorite game. I've gotten pretty used to people saying Union Cross is their favorite game. When 3-4 years ago, it definitely was a shocker because you didn't hear that much. But nowadays, there's a lot of people that have Union Cross as their favorite Kingdom Hearts game. So, yeah. I have a question. Okay. How many of you in the chat were super active or even lurking? Maybe you were just lurking. How many of you were active or lurking in the Cage community before Kingdom Hearts 3? Yes or no? The reason why, Big Bad Wolf, is because the Kingdom Hearts community talks too much, and I'm I'm part of the reason for it, because I talk too much. Like, I just love talking. I love talking about Kingdom Hearts specifically. We cannot stop talking about Kingdom Hearts. Like, outside the Kingdom Hearts community, Kingdom Hearts fans are shunned. They're annoying as heck. Like, do you know how many group calls I've been in where, like, in the fighting game community, for example, or just in other gaming communities, I'm friends with multiple people who aren't Cage creators, and like I'm in a big group call, and sometimes we joke at each other for fun, and like someone just says to me like, "Yo, don't you like Kingdom Hearts, bro?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Because it's like we just talk to it. We're annoying as heck. We're super annoying to people. We are really annoying to people. Or at least I am. Maybe not you guys. You guys are probably beautiful dandelions. I'm probably the annoying one. Alright, so a lot of you were here before. Some knows, but a lot of you were here. Alright, so additional question then. Do you guys feel like, just tell me honestly how you feel. Do you feel like the community is worse now? Or do you feel like it was, or do you feel like it's better? Do you feel like the community is worse or better at this moment? Worse, better. Community is definitely better. A little bit of a mix. I personally feel like it's better, but I can see. Like, I feel like the general community's better just cause like I don't like how divided some people are. Like, I wish we weren't, but I guess I'd rather open discussion over anything else, and I don't think there was that much open discussion beforehand. People did kind of look the other way if you had like a different opinion. Now it's like, okay, you might get into an argument, but like it's not. I feel like it's a little. I feel like personally, from my interactions, it's a little more. It's a little more accepted to like have that different take. Whereas, what do you have to think of? That's lots of people who didn't know Cage just came in because of Cage 3 and were like, Cage is trash, which made lots of toxic things. But then again, Ian Cross came out and kind of made the community better. I don't feel like Ian Cross made the community better. I think what made the community better was, as weird as it sounds, kind of was the discourse. I think after a lot of the discourse with Kingdom Hearts games, that some people did realize a little bit like, okay, some people like this game, and that's alright. I dislike it for X, Y, and Z, but that's alright. That's okay, Tren. Remind could have been a turning point. Could have. I like the MCU. Yeah. I guess I just didn't like the feeling of having to like hold in how I felt like all the time back in the day, like how I felt about certain games, or even just straight up lying to myself about how I felt about certain games. like trying to be overly critical just to be cool, but like it's I kind of just came to realize, I think KH3 made me realize this the most. I just like every KH game. I don't even care. Like every KH game is just fire. Like to me, I like almost all of them. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. We have 112 people in the stream. I want to see 112 likes in the chat. Have you guys been enjoying the stream so far? I said 112 likes in the chat. How do you like the chat? I want to see 112 likes on the stream. I want everyone to hit that like button if you've been enjoying yourself here. I've been enjoying the discussion. I definitely forgot about my headache. So that was a big goal. I definitely forgot about my headache. Yo, 75 likes. There we go. Hey, there's a lot more of you who haven't hit that like button. Let's reach 100 likes on this live stream. 100. That's easy work for some of you guys. I know it's easy work. So come on, just 25 more and we're there. 24 more. Hey, I appreciate it, Finzo. Thank you. Additionally, this is going to be the shill moment of the live stream. Additionally, if you guys are interested, we do have memberships available on the channel. We'll be doing another membership giveaway very soon for the free sketch, the free art sketch bust-up drawing of your choice. You also get an exclusive role on our Discord server. You also get access to upcoming content periodically. So it's pretty cool. Also, if you just want to support, it's only $2.99 a month. And I'm about to do a new member incentive. I'm about to make it so that when we reach 50 members on the channel, I will be doing a all pro codes level 1 playthrough of the base game for Kingdom Hearts 3. So that will be an upcoming incentive that I'm going to be doing. Right now, currently, we are at, let's see. I think we're at 31 unless we lost one or two. Currently, we are at 31 members on the channel. So if you guys want to come out, show that support, all you have to do is type !member in the chat. And Nightbot will put a nice little link there, which it already put, if you scroll up. All you got to do is type !member or click the join button on the chat. Is that little $sign, and then you have the super chat option, and you have a join option or a member option. I don't know what it looks like now, and you can become a member. Yeah, I try to stay away from the drama in the KH community. That might be why I feel like it's better now, because usually, like I don't actively participate in a lot of toxicity, and even when I do get presented with toxicity, like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can handle it a little better than some people. Like, there's a lot of people that have come into my streams and have argued with me about like KH2 and stuff, and I don't mind arguing back sometimes. But like if someone's being super duper toxic or is really trying to like annoy me, like the way people try to annoy me is really funny sometimes. Like some people will come into my stream and be like, "Yo, Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 is better than 3," and I'm like, okay, you might be right. I mean, like, shoot, all games are fire. They're both fire. Like, and I'll sit there. Like, when someone says that, I'll sit there and be like, yo, KH1, KH2, those games are gas. And I'll start a whole discussion about them. Like, I don't know. For me, I just like every KH game. So it's like, I know people try to do it to get under my skin, but, like, it doesn't bother me if you come to my stream and you're like, yo, this game is better than your favorite game. And it's like, okay, I mean, if you think that, that's cool, but don't, I mean, you might be right. You might have some valid reason for thinking so. I'll become a member if you say KH2 is GOAT. Hey, I just said it. Dude, the story is absolute insanity, but I love it so much. What are your thoughts on Ansem, Xemnas, Young Xehanort, and Xehanort? They honestly switch around who's my favorite a lot. Like, okay. Ansem might be my favorite. Followed by Xehanort, followed by Young Xehanort, then Xemnas would be the last. What game has my favorite story? KH3. Kingdom Hearts 3 has my favorite story. Mostly because KH3 has the most memorable moments for me in the entire series. After KH3 would be a little harder. It might be KH1 though after KH3. And after KH1, it could be Days. I don't know. It's so hard to view the stories as separate sometimes, but yeah. After KH1 would be Days or Birth by Sleep though. Final Fantasy and Disney are objectively better than any KH because without them we wouldn't have Kingdom Hearts. Hey, you might be right. I mean, I haven't played too many Final Fantasy games. Disney objectively is better because Disney's freaking close to a monopoly. But like, hey, yeah. I don't know how to respond. What happened with Melody of Memory? What do you mean? In what context are you asking? What happened? What happened to the gameplay? What happened to the streams? What happened with? Are you wondering why no one's talking about? Like, what do you mean? What's happening? What's happening with your question? All right, question to everyone in the chat, little poll. What is everyone's favorite? What was everyone's favorite story in the KH series? Similar to what someone just asked me. What was everyone's favorite story in the series? Yeah, no discussion with it. There's not as much story, and most of the story in Melody of Memory, while pretty substantial, it's a lot of like. It felt like more of a transition from Remind to the next game rather than like its own super focused story sort of thing. So while I've made plenty of videos about it, I can't like talk about it. I don't know. It's weird. I'm about to I actually have another Melody of Memory video in the work related to your question, but there's a lot of factors to it. A lot of factors for sure. Days. A lot of people love Days story. It's so good. Yo, 9 more likes and we'll be at 100 likes, guys. 9 more. By the way, something you guys should definitely check out is I'll actually just open it up. Check out my Discord. I mean, our Discord's pretty fire in my opinion. So like, if you want to join it, want to check it out, please do so. The Union Discord. I have this cute little profile picture here. You will have to wait about 5 minutes when you join the Discord before you get access to anything, because the way this it's just a security measure. So if you guys want to join the server, we have nearly 2,000 people in our Discord. So if you want to get us to that number, if you want to get us officially to that number, we're super close to 2,000. We're like, let me check. Actually, we're 29 members away from 2,000 members in our Discord. So if you want to help us reach that, join the Discord, talk to some KH fans, maybe even get a chance to talk to me, some of my mods, some other KH creators, and have a good time. Yo, 5 more likes, guys. 5 more. 5 more. What data fight gives me the most trouble? At the moment, Vanitas, only because I don't know the fight nearly as well as I wish I did. So probably Vanitas. Honestly, a lot of the cage games are just so good. They're so good. Yo, 3 more likes? 3 more likes, guys? Yo, everyone right now, like, just double check if you have that like button hit. Just do it. I'm sorry for the spontaneous stream today, by the way, guys. I mostly just wanted to stream because I wanted to talk. I need to. My daily streaming schedule has been a little wonky lately. Trying to get back together with it. I'm trying to adjust to a new work schedule, a new video upload schedule, while also trying to figure some other things out in the background. Which there's going to be a big announcement this month. Have you guys seen what I posted in my community tab today? How many of you in the chat have seen what I posted in my community tab today? Just a little head count. There was a movie adaptation of Cage. How should it be? Live action, animated, anime adaptation. Animated or anime adaptation. No live action for sure. Or some way is back cover. Honestly, any of the last 3 options are better than live action. I don't want to see a live action Kingdom Hearts ever. Your favorite to play is Young Xehanort? Young Xehanort is definitely my favorite fight to play. Sykes and Marluxia are also your top 3. Yo, there we go, 100 likes. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I mean, that picture of Kairi. I've seen a lot of comments of people trying to thinking that's the Kingdom Hearts thing. That is not Kingdom Hearts. That is not Kairi. That looks nothing like Kairi either. But it is just a sketch though, so I can't blame you guys fully. Nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts. It actually has to do with something completely separate. It has to do with me. You guys will be seeing it on the channel occasionally, but it has more to do with me branching out into other forms of media outside of YouTube. Though I will be advertising it and showcasing it frequently on my channel, and I will be using my channel as a thing to promote this said project. Basically, to sum it up, I'm working on making a comic, and I'm working on creating a mascot for the channel and for the branding going forward. Kingdom Hearts won't be as bad live action, which is funny because most of the time I'd want an adaptation to be live action. Wait, what? Oh no, you said it would be bad as live action. Yeah, I don't like live action adaptations that often, personally. It depends. Like, I'm not super against them like other people are. Like, I actually think Disney movies are pretty. I actually like the Disney movie live actions, most of them. The only ones I don't like Dumbo. I like Lion King. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I like Lion King. I love Maleficent, and I love Aladdin. The Maleficent movies are great. No, Sora, you jumped the gun again. The mascot still has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts. The mascot's something completely separate. It's not a Kingdom Hearts mascot. It's a whole separate thing. Whole separate thing. I've shown it on stream before, actually, but I won't be showing it on stream anytime in the future. We will be doing a bigger announcement in the future, though. It will likely be a live stream announcement, and I'll probably show it at the end of a video. At the end of a KH video. Is Cherry through the mascot to KH now? Probably. One of UX plays like your typical KH gamer Final Fantasy 14, it'd probably be better. Yeah, Disney Disney is not against darker storytelling. Oh, yo, guys, I have something I want to say. I just want to see. I want to see everyone's reactions to it, because I've talked about this with a friend before, and he was super surprised. So I want to get a head count. How many of you guys knew that Square Enix owned the rights to Full Metal Alchemist games? Or just, I think they might own the rights to Full Metal Alchemist in general. Y'all didn't know that? Yeah, Square owns the video game rights to Full Metal Alchemist. They actually recently did a collab with Brave Exvius. I never played the Full Metal Alchemist games either. They don't look that good either. Square Enix actually does a lot of animes. The anime I've been watching recently, High Score Girl on Netflix, that apparently is licensed by Square too. Okay. How many of you guys will be open to me doing a spontaneous fighting game stream one day, where I like introduce you guys into one of my favorite fighting games? was a discussion stream, by the way. I use a pretty generic term for it, but I wouldn't really classify this as a full-scale discussion stream. This is just a kind of whatever I want to talk about stream, just chatting stream, if you want to call it that. But like my more, I guess, produced case discussion streams focus a lot more on a specific topic rather than just rambling. Oh, another question, by the way. Do you guys think this streaming time is too early, too late, or just right? Yeah, I figured it was a little late. That's why I need to start streaming earlier. You'll quit your day job to tune in. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Alright, I'm not gonna prolong this for too much longer, but what I will do is I'm going to transition into a Genshin Impact live stream. So give me a moment as I set that up, and I will be moving all of you over there. Alrighty, everyone. So I would like to say thank you all for coming out to today's live stream. I really do appreciate a lot of the love and support. I am going to redirect you guys actually. Hold on. How do I do that? How do I do the live redirect thing again? Wait. I genuinely forgot how to do it. Wait, did I remove the feature from me by chance? I doubt it. Or maybe they did. This be right here on the side. No, there we go. Alright. They instead of making a separate tab, they added it at the bottom. That's weird. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and redirect you guys over to a Genshin live stream. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, guys. Bye.